In a previous video, we went over the cutoff tool, and I'm going to continue using it while I now demonstrate symmetry in 3DC printing. To get started, I'm going to turn on my axis handles so I can see how I'm oriented in 3D space. I'll go to a top view, orthographic. I can right click and drag to zoom in, middle mouse click to pan. Now let's go to the symmetry menu. In the menu bar, we have options for turning symmetry off, toggle symmetry on and off, or bring up the symmetry panel. So if I click on that and move it into place, it stays stationary while I'm working. However, you have an additional option, and that is to invoke the symmetry panel wherever your cursor is while you're working by hitting the S key. That will bring it right to your cursor. And like any other panel in 3DC printing, if you move your cursor away, it disappears. So that's a matter of convenience, but there are times where when you hit the S key to bring it to your symmetry panel, you may want to leave it stationary inside your viewport. So let's click on the tab and drag that. And now as we work, it stays stationary. Let's click Enable Symmetry. We don't see anything yet because we have not yet told 3DC printing which axis we want to mirror across. If I zoom out, I can see my green axis handle, so if I want to copy to this side, then I want to choose Y axis. As I move my cursor into place, you'll see a little dot on the opposite side indicating that it's going to mirror that operation to the other side of the axis. I'm first going to change the shape to a circle, and I'll click and drag. Works great. Let's change to depth limit so it only cuts to a certain distance. I set the depth limit at 5. Okay. What if we wanted to also mirror not only along one axis, but we wanted to repeat the same action on the bottom side? There are a couple different options that we could choose. One is we could select the Z-axis. I can see that's how I want to be oriented. And I'm going to uncheck Y-axis. 3DC printing gives me the option to apply a symmetrical copy at any given point. So if I forget that I'm not in symmetry, I can turn it on and then click this icon to apply a symmetrical copy to the opposite side. 3DC printing will copy from the side you last perform an operation. But I have one slight problem here. The axis planes are set to the center of world space as opposed to the object. To set it to the object center, I want to click Pick from Bounding Box. If you hover over this, it explains in the tooltip that it has an invisible bounding box around the boundary of this object, and it's going to pick from the center of it. And that's what I want. Now, all I have to do is click this little symmetrical copy icon, and it does just as the name implies. So that's one way to work. Let's go ahead and choose Y-axis, and that will allow us to create another cut and see it mirrored to the bottom side as well as to the opposite end of the Y-axis. So let's go back to the top view. I'm going to hit my hotkey for that. Now let's rotate about and see. Yes, it indeed created that on the opposite side on both ends of the axes. Alright, let me undo a few times. Okay, and let's choose radial symmetry. We'll go back to a top view. Right click to zoom, middle mouse click to pan. This little stem is oriented along the Y-axis. I want it to be oriented up and down along the Z. Let's change the axis type to axis Z. And now you can see as I move about, it's giving me a preview of what it's going to do or where it's going to create these operations. So let's choose 8. Hit OK. Now when I click and drag, I don't have any on the bottom side, but I do on the top side. We have an option for radial mirror, and that will allow you to do essentially the same thing. It just uses axis planes, and you can change the number. The difference here is you can apply additional rotation, and you can also use that extra mirror like we did previously, pick from the bounding box. But let's go back to radial symmetry. And with extra mirror chosen, now if we create this operation at the top, it will do the same thing at the bottom. Let's undo, and I'll choose extra mirror, pick from bounding box, again top view, and there we have it. Okay, now we do have another option for what's called general case, and this is just allowing you to create a custom symmetry point also if the object is not located at the center of the grid. So you need localized symmetry, and this allows you to basically to pick your start point and your end point. You can also reset symmetry, and it will put you back in the default X, Y, and Z mirror mode. And so that is a quick look at using symmetry in 3DC printing. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.